Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. This is Business Connect. My name is Roy. If this is your first time on our channel, here we do videos about China. We talk about students' life in China, the life of expats in China. We share news about things happening here in China. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the disadvantages of studying in Chinese universities. I studied in a Chinese university for over 3 years. I graduated and now I live in China. So whatever I'll be saying in this video will be purely my experience, sharing my experience with you who is studying in China or with you who's planning to study in China. Welcome back. So if you're curious about studying in China or how is it like studying in China as an international student, I did a complete video for over 20 minutes where I shared my entire experience as a student in a Chinese university. So if you have not yet watched that video, I'm going to leave a link at the description box. Go down there and watch that video. You're going to gather much about the student's life in China. But in today's video, I just want to share only the disadvantages. I just want to talk about the things that I didn't like or the things that I don't like about Chinese universities. The first disadvantage of studying in China is that you're going to meet with a completely different culture. China has a population of over 1.4 billion inhabitants, and the cultures all over the different provinces in China are so different. So if you're someone who is not really open-minded, who is not ready to adapt to a new social environment, who's not ready to accept people the way they are, who's not ready to accept things the way they are, then definitely China is not the place for you to study. Because the reasons why a lot of people come to China and get dissatisfied is because before coming to China, they were not very sure of what they were going to expect. So that's the reason why I encourage a lot of students that before you come to China, you need to study about Chinese people, you need to study about the Chinese environment, and you need to be able to accept this. If you study about this and then you tell yourself, I'm not ready for this, then China is not a place for you to study in. The second disadvantage of studying in Chinese universities is the level of autonomy that the Chinese universities have. You know, China is a country where the government has autonomy over almost everything. So the universities don't really have the autonomy to teach what they want or to appoint who they want in a certain position. So the universities have very limited freedom of control. So studying in a university where the university authority, the university itself doesn't really have that autonomy over its activities, over its curriculum, over its administrators, over its students, might not really be what you like. So for you to really accept this kind of system, you must be someone who has an open mind. If you're not someone who has an open mind, who is ready to accept things the way they are, then studying in China might not be a thing for you. Another disadvantage of studying in China is the limited English programs and the limitation in the use of the English language by most professors or university lecturers. I know most of us must have come from countries where the primary educational language is English. Then to all of a sudden study in a country where the primary language is not English might be a big challenge for you. So having a university supervisor or a university lecturer that cannot really express himself or herself freely or conveniently in English might really be a challenge for you. So if you're not someone who can do a lot of work by yourself and just have your professor or your supervisor just maybe give you some few technical advice or a few technical adjustments, then China might not be a place for you to study in. If you're not someone who can do a lot of work independently, then China might not be a place for you to study in. Chinese universities are great when it comes to infrastructure, when it comes to equipment, when it comes to resources, but the professors might not really be able to express or to transmit this knowledge in the primary English language. So this might be a little drawback for you who cannot do a lot of things by yourself. Another disadvantage is the use of the library and the research facilities. Since English language is not a primary language in China, almost everything that you will find in the Chinese universities will be in Chinese. Like the libraries, the resources in the library will mostly be in Chinese, and you can access the internet freely without the use of a VPN. And since somehow it's illegal to use a VPN in China, Chinese universities might not encourage that, and that will really affect your research process. So can you imagine doing a research in a Chinese university library without being freely able to access the internet? Google, which we know is one of the most powerful search engines. How are you really going to extract the material that you need for your research? Another thing that I didn't like about Chinese universities is or was limited freedom of expression by university students. In Chinese universities, I don't know, in my university, I don't know in other universities, students cannot form, say, university associations that can really do things in the favor of the students. Everything is like prepared and then you're just told what to do. Students cannot protest using university associations if they think something is not going on right. So you see, you're just left to accept whatever they tell you to do. You cannot use a university association maybe to protest about something, or maybe students cannot gather to raise their voice against certain things. And as adults, as university scholars, people will always want things to go in a certain way. And in Chinese universities, it's not that way. You accept what you're told and you just take it the way it is. Another thing that, to my opinion, I didn't like it. It's a good thing, but since I said I'm sharing my experience, to me, it wasn't really a good thing because it's the rate of control and discipline. You must go to class and you must be in class on time. As university students, it's not every day that you might want to be in class, or it's not every day that you might want to be in class at 7 a.m. in the morning and so on. But in Chinese universities, discipline is not compromised. If you missed a certain number of classes, the disciplinary actions that might be taken against you might even lead to you being expelled from the university, which is a good thing. But to me, I consider it not too good because I think that university students are mature enough and know what to do and what not to do. So they should be given this freedom, maybe to attend the classes and to do what they think is best for them. Because as a university student, you know what you want. So you shouldn't be able to be forced. You shouldn't be forced to class, or you shouldn't be forced to stay in class at this time, and so on. The last disadvantage that most Chinese universities have might be the quality of education compared to maybe first class universities or world-class universities in Western countries like the US, the UK, Canada, and Australia. China has great universities. China have excellent universities that are equivalent to the Ivy League universities. For your information, China has the universities that are called the C9 League universities. These are universities that are equivalent to the Ivy League universities in the United States. But just 9 out of the over 3,000 and something universities that are in China, you see that a lot of Chinese universities are still considered by the Westerners as underclass. So if finally you make up your mind to study in China, don't expect it to be a wow. Don't expect it to be a bed of roses, because there are so many things that you will be disappointed with, honestly. But at the end of the day, it's not only about the classroom experience. It's about the general experience in China. It's about the cultural exchange. It's about the things that you learn as you live in China, not just the things that you learn in a Chinese university. So you see that at the end of the day, if you're someone with an open mind, after spending 4 or 5 years in a Chinese university, if you're someone who's very objective, you will see that you will leave China satisfied as a university student. So before you come to study in China, You really have to do your research, know what to expect, and have an open mind. If what you expect is not what you've seen that you're going to get in this particular university, then don't even try it, because at the end of the day, you're just going to be amongst one of those who will be writing hate speech over the internet saying Chinese universities are bad, Chinese universities are this. But they were expecting maybe a lot, or they were over expecting. Then at the end of the day, they were disappointed. So do your research, have an open mind, come to China, enjoy your classes, enjoy the life in China, and live a happy student. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, share it with someone. If you like our content, hit that subscription button, turn on the notification bell so that each time we bring up videos like this, YouTube will notify you and you'll be the first to watch our videos. Until now, it's peace out. I'll see you in our next video. Bye bye.